plants are doing well. As you can tell, the dogs are flipping out, but we're gonna go into the lab here and be fine. 1 second here. There we go. All right, let's run away from the puppies. All right, everybody. Well, I hear the alarm of the car outside going off, but it's off now, so I'm assuming everything's all right. All right, everybody, give me 2 seconds here, and we're going to get this show going. I hope everybody's doing well, and I hope you are having a wonderful Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Potsquatch Growers. That's right. Or basically, as I affectionately call the show for now, a dude in a garage. All right. Here we go. Almost ready. Almost there, baby. All right. There we go. All right, everybody. Well, I hope everyone's having a wonderful day so far, as I said probably a couple of times. So, get this tripod all expanded but out here. And then perfect. It is now on the perfect height for me to read and say hi to everybody. All right, everybody. What's happening? What's good? All right. Let's go to the beginning here and say hi to everybody. All right. Ooh, there's a lot of methods. All right. What's happening, Green 373 Steel? Good to see you. What's up, Jake Green? Derek Cloud, good to see you, my friend. All right. Jose Canella, Edward Evans, good to see you. Red Claus, what's good in the hood? All right. Soul Price, hey, yo. Stone M, good to see you, my friend. All right. All right. First, to answer your question, Stone Dam, that was from 12 minutes ago, never used a perfumed anything on your plants, okay? If it's perfumed, that's a no-no. That also goes for Epsom salts. If you're using Epsom salts or magnesium sulfate kind of amendment there to make your own kind of CalMag, don't use something that comes with like something like lavender. That's a no-no. All right. What's up, Alex Squatch? All right, Jeremiah Sanchez, good to see you, baby. There are insecticidal soaps and etc. that are totally fine to use for plants. Just don't use something scented, all right? Scent is bad. If you can do it, try to get, like, for example, if you're trying to make some of your own at-home bug juice, shall we say, totally fine to use a little dish soap in there. There are a lot of recipes call for that. But I would very much suggest to try to get a hypoallergenic scentless dish soap for that one, okay? All right. Coffee Growers, good to see you, baby. Am I missing anybody? I'm just trying to say hi to everybody so I show respect to everyone who's decided to join us on this wonderful rainy Sunday here in British Columbia through the interwebs. Ganjanati, your mama, good to see you, baby. All right. Nathan Burrow, good to see you, buddy. All right. Who have I missed, if anybody? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, Johnny Karaoke, thank you very much, buddy, and thank you for joining the show today, man. It's good to see you. I got a chance to check out some of your karaoke lives on Facebook earlier. Keeping it rocking. The long hair is looking good, buddy. I'd keep growing it out. I think it'll add to your fun with doing the karaoke shows once COVID goes away and we can have karaoke nights at the pub again. What's happening, Kev T? Good to see you, buddy. Matthew Cassette, welcome to the show. Julio from Denver, good to see you. Johnny Summertime. My daughter just told me that she wants to be in a horror movie. Didn't sound right. Well, horror movies are great. I'm a big fan of them. I actually watched one yesterday that was quite good. And they're a lot of fun. I've never actually had the chance as an actor to be in a horror film or zombie film or creature feature or anything like that. But I'd love to one day. So hell, if she wants to learn the ways of the horror film, I say it's a lost art. Many have lost it. There's still a few good ones being made. So nothing wrong with that. What's up, Costin? Ulahan P. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Welcome to the show, my friend. Adam Hansen, what's up? All right. Jersey born Roman genetics. Yo, yo, yo. What's crack-a-lackin', my foo? All right. Joe Quadruple 7B. Good to see you. Is it okay to feed your plants sugars? Yes. However, typically when utilizing sugar, I mean, you can use a processed table sugar, but typically I would recommend maybe using like a golden yellow sugar or maybe a brown sugar or maybe even a Jamura sugar, which has actually had more molasses added back into it. Yeah, baby. Just less processing, and your plant will like it more. But you can still use basic table sugar if that's what you have. Good to see you, Dr. Weedman. Good to see you. What's up, Mark Davies? Good to see you, my friend Vic Victor. Good to see you, baby. Julio from Denver, what's up to you? Taser Ray, what's happening, man? Right? Exactly, buddy. Exactly. What's happening, I Spy Retro? What's happening? Easy Money. What's up, baby? Good to see you. Saviro Macri. Fun name. I hope I'm saying it right. Welcome to the show, my friend Malcolm Smith. I hope the UK is treating you all right, baby. Oh, dude, and Johnny Karaoke, man, at the new crib, we will do a festive gathering of karaoke singers in my new backyard, buddy. Something to be said that's beautiful for Canadian whiskey. Kev T, no, I am not in the new house. The new house we will take possession of May 3rd, everybody. So May 3rd, mark your calendars now. I actually meant to sit down with the calendar and find out how many sleeps until the new lab. And we're going to start doing that show for fun. But I haven't had a chance to figure that one out yet. But May the 3rd, everybody, is my possession date. So on May the 3rd, we will be moving in to the new crib and the new lab, too, and getting things ready for everybody to check it out. Thank you very much, Gazzers, as well as Soul Price there. Those links that will be shared by those two wonderful moderators there is actually where you're going to find our very own lighting brand, brought to you in partnership with another little company out of California, where growers building lights for growers. That's right, Squatch Lighting Systems. Potsquatch Growers LED lights, man. Brought to you by Soul Strip, some of the most affordable professional grade tech around, and we're the only goddamn company that designed the bitches to be fixed and upgraded. Because we give a shit. Moving on. Check those out, though. Those are the links right there. You know what I'm saying? All right. What's happening, Reverend Veritas? I'm doing well. How you doing, baby? So the coffee grower, basically, at the end of the day, in terms of worrying about bringing in hypothetical pests into your grow space, I mean, I would say buy your wife flowers. That's totally okay. Just maybe don't let her, don't give them to her in your grow. At the end of the day, you should be fine. If you're overly worried, at a florist, okay, you can go up and ask, just like, hey, in Canada, I'd be blunt with it. I'd just be like, hey, I'm a medical cannabis grower. Have you had any issues with mealybugs, stripes, mites, or any of the sort? And hopefully they're honest and they tell you. But when you're educated and you know what to look for, you can actually do a quick inspecciones on those bouquets of flowers for your partner, and I think it'll be all right, baby. Just don't bring that shit in your grow. You should be good to go. You know what I'm saying? All right. What's up, Rick DeRosa, baby? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Well, it's funny, Taser Ray, I actually do make my own version, a few different versions of infused sugars. I've been doing it for a number of years, and man, I tell you, that's one way to either make a cocktail, your morning coffee extra special. Sometimes your morning coffee is the cocktail. AK whiskey coffee, that was the joke. I realized that you could have assumed that I was drinking a cocktail as a coffee, and that's not quite the same thing. But anyway, that's not what I meant. Anyway, moving on. That's right. As you can see there's another link that's been shared by Soul Price. Thank you so much, Soul, for sharing that one. That's where you're going to find out your Potsquatch CBD products. Right now, we got the tinctures out. Some of the most affordable shit around in the States right now. And we actually got 3 new products in development right now. One of the things, I'm waiting for some samples to be sent for the beard oil. So the basic conceptual idea of the recipe on the beard oil is done. But we got to figure out what the smell is going to be. And it's going to be a CBD medicated beard oil for all those beard people out there. They're sending me a couple of different scents to check out. They've made a custom one for me. And the custom one they made for Uncle Potsquatch was cedarwood and whiskey. So far, I'm not turned off, so we will see how it turns out. But keep your eyes on the website, and also to check out Potsquatch Growers Inc. That's not the group on Facebook. That is, in fact, our company page. And typically when we launch new things, I'll announce them at least through there, and obviously through the Facebook group as well. So check that out, my friends. It's going to be good. Well, there you go. That would be the trifecta, or quadfecta. Because I guess technically there was already 3 elements before the blowjob. All right. Hey, thank you very much, Severio. I appreciate it. I do my best to get people's names right, but I don't always get it right. But I do my best. Johnny sometimes says, how long would you let seeds dry before you start to pop them? Just dry out in the open. Well, one, dry those bitches. Then I dry those bitches for some more time. I typically like to sit on my beans for a bit. So once they're nice and dry and the flower is ready for me to harvest them, they're nice and dry, okay, I'm then going to transfer my beans into glass containers, okay, and I'm going to let those bitches sit in the dark for a while. Typically, I'm going to let my beans sit for at least a month to 6 weeks, let's say, to let those beans themselves kind of cure up a bit and get ready to make some sexy weed titty plants. You know what I'm saying? Yes, unsalted molasses is the way to go, baby. Right now, I'm drinking some Canadian rye whiskey with some ginger ale. Old fashioned type of drink in that my grandparents drank it a lot. Good old rye and ginger. A lot of rye, a little bit of ginger, you're good to go, baby. Hey, there you go, Taste of Ray. Getting it on. I mean, it is Sunday fun day. You gotta have a good time somehow, right? That's right. Party on the third, Alex Squatch. It's gonna be a good time, baby. Hey, thank you very much, Kev T. I will not lie to all the you at home. It has been a stressful couple months for us. I mean, it's been crazy, man. Finding out, getting persecuted for being medical cannabis growers. Oh God, you can't keep the house that you buy. Fucking all shit. Thought gonna, saying you can't have an at-home business. Well, my at-home office and even my corporate address is my house. So it's like, well, that's not good. So I mean, rather than fight it, I realized, and I am a honky, right? So like I live on indigenous land even though I have a valid lawsuit on there, that's just going to be a hard fight. So at the end of the day, the market's doing all right here in BC. Flipping the house, buying a new one, getting it going. It's going to be all right. Moving on up, baby. And the new lab is going to be more than twice the size of what we've been currently doing. So the room in here, okay, plus the den behind there where we've often done drawing and stuff, that's roughly 400 square feet between those two spaces, okay? Our new lab is well over, or at least a little bit over, 900 square feet. That would be, in fact, what I shared with everyone in that tiny little sneak peek video of what will then in turn become Lab 2. And we're going to be doing lots of fun experiments. Basically, the breakdown of the new lab is that one bedroom there. We're going to use that as our main flowering room. So you're going to get weekly updates on a continual, always going grow. There's going to be a perpetual going flower in there. All right. When the bitch is done, we put more in. All right. But then we're going to be doing a lot of other side experiments. Going to have some fun with it. We're going to be doing the tent city, which as of the last show or the second last show or something like that became up. We'll call that 7 tents. So eventually we'll get some form of maybe even a tent city going in there. But we're going to be doing some breeding tents. We're going to be doing some tent experiments. We're going to bring back that little squatch. How much weed can we do with that one? I mean, they can taste the ray. I mean, if you drop them at the right angle, at least. Jeremiah Sanchez says, have I ever used green juice, fresh juiced kale, some black straw? I've never used a lot of fresh kale made juice. I mean, I have used kale products that I've purchased at the store. I personally have not made my own to date. That does not mean we cannot going forward, though. Hey, Dr. Potness, how you doing? We got Dr. Weeman and Dr. Potness all at the same time in the show. How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the show. Good old times. Well, Joe, Quadruple 7B, I mean, I personally don't really have a high respect for almost any companies out there. Plus, I mean, I don't really buy seeds from breeders. So, I mean, typically that's not really my thing. So I'm actually kind of a useless, knowledge on that one. Because, again, there's a reason why I'm starting a company. I feel a certain way about a lot of genetics. Not saying everybody out there ain't doing it right. Okay. But a good chunk of them are doing it wrong. And so what we're doing is we're actually bringing back genetics. And so one day there will be a company. It's called Potsquatch Growers. And we're working on that right now. But obviously we can't help you currently until we go legal. So at the end of the day, this is where I'm going to open up the floor to anyone who's watching at home. If you've got a seed company that you like, if you've got a company that you've had a good experience with, feel free to share, baby. It's okay. All right. KFT, goddamn pop poppers in the soil, man. Plus the grub grenade in a week or so, you said. Yeah, man. Because basically, the nematodes are going to do a great ass job in about roughly, 72 hours to take care of your shit in terms of the soil propagating issues. So I would leave it an extra 4 days. So give it around a week, 7 to 9 days. Let's say that, and then deploy the predatory mites. And that's going to give you the double tap, or the classical double tap, and really, get you clean and sexy on that one. All right. Rick DeRosa says, hey, brother, quick question. Do you always wait for your pots to be dry before feeding, aka watering, or just when the pot isn't as heavy in flower? I typically, I run my environment such that they usually dry out fairly quickly. The one thing to remember is also, too, with high-intensity discharge LED lighting systems and a properly dialed-in environment, you're going to be able to water and feed pretty much every day. Not feed every day, but you're going to be able to introduce moisture into your medium every day. Very rarely in my grows do I ever go a day without either watering or feeding or doing something. So no, I don't wait till they fully dry out. But what I will say is every once in a while throughout the flowering window, I will let my my medium dry out to a point where it is quite dry. Because occasionally doing that a few times throughout the flower, is good for the plant. It's not a bad thing. And one thing you can also help to have a quicker turnaround time on that as well is just starting to run a little bit of a lower relative humidity during flower. One, it's not a bad idea. It's safer. And two, running a lower relative humidity during your flowering window, that's going to help the weed titties make more weed titty juice. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get stickier now. So that's a good thing. So I hope that helps answer the question. All right. Julio from Denver, the seed setter. All right. No, we're just doing that one. Let's keep scrolling along here. No. 1 second. That's right, Mark Davies. We're doing the medicated CBD beard oil and the custom scent. Because, I found out that one of the things they're like, oh, so how do you feel about a vanilla scent? Well, Uncle Potsquatch was not down with that. So they made us a custom scent. It's cedarwood and whiskey. We'll see if I actually like it. All right. Einstein, there is no medical science in any way that I've ever heard of that CBD can cure AIDS. If someone's told you that CBD can cure AIDS, that is the biggest load of crap I've ever heard in my planet. No. So no. If it was an honest question, great question. If it was a joking question, also great question, because it was kind of funny. Plus, that has never been asked in almost 4 years on this channel. So good job. I like that. Sold price. Am I going to smudge the new place? I'd like to smudge it, but to be honest with you, the wife smudges on her own. She's kind of a witch, actually. So, she does her own thing. I'd like to bring in some of my friends who are indigenous elders in their own communities, or at least one of them. We'll see who's available to come out to Hope and do that with me. And if that doesn't work, maybe I'll bring my friend Slim Tim. He's also not only an indigenous man, but also a bit of a witch himself. And so bring him out as well. Maybe we could smudge it together. The trick when it comes to smudging and using sages and other things like that, this is more of a holistic thing, okay? But you got to be careful where you get your sage, man. You know what I'm saying? That shit can pick up mojo, bad mojos, right? So you got to make sure you're using the right shit to smudge with. But yes, I typically do smudge not only the house when I move in. Let's be fair. I typically just smudge when I move in and I feel good. And then I do the rest of the smudging this way. Right? But the wife, she does a fair amount of smudging and smudges regularly, and that's her jam, you know what I'm saying? Nice greens. I'm actually drinking Wise's Deluxe. I find Crown Royal these days a little bit too sweet for my palate, but as I age, I'm more and more sensitive to sugar, it seems. And you thought I was drinking apple juice. Nah, I prefer... I'll drink apple juice, but I prefer orange juice. Put a little gin in that. Gin and juice, baby. Yeah, ganja down to your mama. Go for it, girl. I believe in you. To the weed titty gods. Me, ganja nana, your nana, mama, split, get her high. Gazzer, 76. I just want to say one thing. I read your message right before the show started. I will respond after the show, okay? And I'll ask a simple question. Is Dingle Nuts in the house right now? Because maybe you should turn me up on the TV and I'll send a little message to your little friend that's in your home right now. Long story short, don't beat women, especially when they're the daughter of one of our members. Probably a good idea. Now, spousal abuse can go both ways. I actually have been married before. I was married and I was pretty abusive relationship. And as a man who's a 6'1" ex-fighter with a beard, it can totally happen to us too. Okay, it's a little different, but spousal abuse is never cool. So fuck that shit. All right. It's not straight whiskey, Eugene Dolan. It's got a little bit of rye whiskey in there. You know, I can't get too happy on the show, right? So, I'm sorry, Cliff. Well, you know, my dad ain't dead, but my grandma and my grandfather dead, and they loved a good rye ginger, you know what I'm saying? That's right, M9. I'm just going to call you M9 now. M9, it's right. It feels like I'm talking like a robot in Star Wars, you know. M9! Come on, M9! All right. But yeah, it'll be good. Octopots. Do I like them? Never played with them. Couldn't tell you. What am I thinking about the low ceilings? No, I mean, shorter plants, not really. Just better training. I probably can grow the plants pretty tall or pretty similarly tall. I just may have to train them out a little bit. So we will have to make conscious decisions in terms of how I grow the plants. I mean, yes. So, okay. So, yes. The way we were growing the plants in this space in here, okay, here. We could shoot that back thing, right? So, the new place, I can touch the ceilings in that apartment with my hand, okay? So, let's just be frank. Here I am on the wall, okay? The ceiling in this room's up here. My head's here. If I straighten up, you know what I mean? I can actually touch the ceilings of Lab 2 with my head. So yes, there will be some subtle tweaks. I gotta be careful or creative when growing out our cannabis in the new space. However, I'm not worried about it. I mean, I feel we've run super tall plants with our lighting systems enough to prove that they work to handle that. And at the end of the day, I'm kind of excited about the little ceilings. One, because, I mean, it's encouraging me to change my style yet again. And I like that. Plus, two, now I get to pretend to be a giant, you know, in the show. And that'll be fun, I think, going forward in the future. But yes, so good point. So Johnny Summertime, no, we're still going to grow some big-ass, giant-ass plants. But you are, yes, in fact, correct. We will have to tweak the growing of the plants a little bit. Or terms of how we're approaching said growing of said plants, you know what I'm saying? But it'll be a good time. Thank you, dude, June, all the way. It's going to be fun, everybody. We're going to do a lot of stuff. I mean, Kev T, if it happens when I'm available, I'll participate. I rarely do. I normally don't really participate in grow-offs. One day without genetics brand, I will go to Cannabis Cups. It's like the one competition I'll probably do. You know, if they ever come back after COVID, but I'll do the one you invited me to if it's available still when I get out there. Any idea why pigeons got 2 strikes? To be fair, I don't know the channel well enough to speak to that. Tell them that if they'd like to message me, I have a fairly good understanding about YouTube and our people when it comes to strikes. So typically they should know what the specific strike was. There should also be a specific video that was connected with their strikes. So I could maybe help them to assess that maybe or make a guess, but I don't personally know the content well enough that I could give a humble 2 cents on it yet. Well, Julio from Denver, yes, because I actually usually incorporate ProCal, which is it's just Green Planet's CalMag version, in almost every feed intermix I do. And you got to remember, cannabis has this innate ability to actually be able to handle a shitload of feed. You can't just do it right away. It takes time to get it ready to do that, okay? But if you work the plant up to it, man, you can heavy feed that bitch crazy. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I typically incorporate Pro Cal all the time. Like, I mean, it was funny. I remember the first time Caden Crooks of District Records was over here watching me mix up feed during flower for my plants, and he was watching, and he goes, "Do you always feed like that?" Like, yeah, sometimes I do fuck a little more. You know, I'm just like, fuck it. I'm gonna get in there, man. You know, I mean, I changed every round, every run. Know what the plant's feeling, know what the plant wants. But I mean, yeah, like I'm a heavy daddy feeder right there. Like. And he goes, fuck, man, I think I've been underfeeding. I'm like, man, there's a good chance you have been. Because at the end of the day, the plant does have this innate ability to be able to continue on. Like, oh, man, like I got used to this amount of food. Like, I could take more now. Especially when we're using sort of bottled nutrients, man. And then, we're still going to have our flush window anyway to remove all the salts and everything. Which, the flushing window is actually a perfect thing. Because we're not trying to remove nutrition, okay? We're removing salt buildup. That's what the whole point is. Don't matter about the fucking newts, baby. It's about the fucking salt. So anyway, that's what we're removing. So at the end of the day, though, by not feeding during that last 2 weeks, which is classically the huge super duper explosion of where you can have your weight even almost double at times, they're going to use the natural nutritional stores that are in the plant. That's just a fact, baby. That's what the natural feed is. Fan leaves ain't just for energy. They're nutritional stores. I got a gut. That's stored energy. So you fan leaves. So it's like, by encouraging the plant to use up these like kind of remaining sugars and newts within itself, and then removing these salts at the same time. I mean, that's sort of what we're doing, and that's the actual methodology behind flushing, okay? Anyone who says flushing is a pro-science one, it's not, because it's real science. But two, what I will say is, if you want to not flush your cannabis, fine. We're talking bottled newts here, okay? And at the end of the day, I'll see you at the cup. We'll see who wins. If you want to go smoke a black ash fucking tar pipe of grossness that tastes like chemicals and disgust, like it's just got nasty taste. It don't be, ugh, it's gross. Like, ugh. Then you cannot flush your cannabis, okay? I've been doing this enough times. I have not flushed over the years. I have improperly flushed. I have learned the differences through experience, and I've done it with 1,001 different strains and species of cannabis. It's about the salt buildup from bottled newts, everybody. We're just trying to strip that up, and also naturally encourage the plant to use its natural nutritional source, okay? That's why it starts to cannibalize and start to fade and start to feed or cannibalize its own self. This actually has a positive effect in the finishing and tempering of our cannabis. All right. What's up, Christopher Thomas? Good to see you. Was ist los, Russell Langhammer, mein Bruder? Wie geht's dir, mein Freund? One second here, everybody. I'm playing catch up now on reading. What's up, G-Gap? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Wise George 365. Welcome to the show. All right. No, living soil and is very much its own beautiful concept. Super soil is another concept, not quite the same thing, but can be the same thing. And it's we're gonna get all into that at the new lab and do little fun experiments for everybody and go in depth on a few new types of things you've never seen on the show. And like I said, that's actually a perfect thing to say. Right now, we've got a second email now. It's a dedicated email that I only typically often I won't respond to the emails on this right now just because we're really busy. But what I am doing is I'm building a list of requests for content, okay? So that means like a certain type of experiment you want to see Uncle Potsquatch do, a certain type of growing style, methodology, technology, blah, 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 blue, blah, blee, blah, blue. Fuck it. We will do our darndest to work things in. So, treat that email with respect, though. And that's potsquatchdoo@gmail. POTSQUATCHDOO@gmail.com. All right? And Cleopatra, if you're watching, Gaz's daughter, Uncle Potsquatch with you. Be strong, girl. I love you. Sorry, side note, everybody, side tangent. It's just sometimes I know certain people may be watching, so I send out personal messages. You won't know what it means. It's all right. But yeah. I agree, Christopher Thomas, 100%. Some people like, dude, some of the best weed I've ever grown over the years has been bag seed, 100%. I've never tried their seeds, my friend, Dr. Potness. But hey, if you sticking with them, they must be doing something right. Happy Dude Grows. May the 3rd will be when the moving date into the new lab is, all right? There we go. Chris Frey says, tonight I'm going to switch to flower. Just wondering how much of a dark period you suggest before the turn. I don't suggest a dark period at transition. I think it's a pointless waste of time. I think it's silly. Some people argue, but oh no, it helps the transition if you do that. No, fuck off. No, seriously. All the plant requires is 12 hours of darkness on a photo to produce the amount of flowering hormones it needs to grow weed titties. I sometimes will have nodal clusters developing at 2 days after a 12-12 flip. I'm sorry, I don't need it any faster than that. And so this, by the way, is not me chastising you at all. Good question, amazing question. This is just sort of like, there's certain things certain practices out there that in my humble 2 cents make me go like that. Like, that's just stupid. I mean, very rarely do I make declarative statements. Well, maybe not rarely, but I mean, I only do it when I personally really feel strongly about something. And so, yeah, don't worry about that at all, my friend. I don't recommend anything. Just make sure you don't have any light leaks. Make sure you've got proper, consistent darkness for your plants. Go right into that 12-12, man. You be cool. It's going to be fine, baby. Don't you worry for a goddamn second. That is my honest, humble 2 cents, Chris Frey. And Joe quadruple 7B, that would be my humble semblance of a statement as well on most seed companies. Hence, why I would like to get into the seed game. Basically, part of the ways I get into certain parts of the industry is that certain things piss me off, or I don't like how something works, so I decide to say, fuck it, I'm going to go do it. People deserve something better than that! Well, see, and that's the funny thing, coffee growers, is one doesn't have to cancel one. The true smart person, as I've been learning, does them all, right? So in our new live streams going forward at the new lab, we're going to be using Streamlabs. So we're going to be going live on multiple platforms at once. There's going to be people coming to us from our YouTube community, which is where we are right now. We're going to have people coming to us from the Facebook world. I'm not on other platforms, so I won't be using some of the other ones, except obviously Instagram. And I believe there is a way for me to actually integrate the Instagram into it as well. I just got to look into it a little bit more because it's not as easy as other platforms are in terms of that. But so I would suggest to anyone, don't let that go unless they're going just to the straight pre-recorded podcast and say do it. But I mean, it's still a video place. Don't limit your place of where you can have a place to show your content would be my only 2 cents on that, right? What's up, Aaron Rock? Good to see you, buddy. Am I? All right. So, okay, everybody, we're going to do the super speed read now. Okay, if there's anything relevant, I'm going to try to answer it. Don't judge me. I gotta focus. Smudging is a practice of blessing or cleansing a space, typically found in most indigenous cultures in some form or fashion, especially North American indigenous peoples. What do you, sorry, I'm not familiar what you mean by the term biochar, Tom Torres. Kind of, Eugene Dolan. It can be a ritual thing or just a function, but it's still a spiritualistic thing. Mr. Bone, I'm needing to smudge my house. Got something bad living in my house. Mr. Bone, send me a message. I can talk to you personally about that. Your message came through at 420. It's a sign. I know much about that world. I can help you, my friend, or try to at least. We are building a Discord server right now that is happening. Soul Price and Nicole have been slowly working on that, and I'm working on trying to bring that up to where I'm just like, I understand it and everything's cool. Oh crap, how far behind am I? Everybody, I'm trying to, I'm scrolling through this very quickly and trying to answer the things that I need to as we go. No, Soul Price, isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol make you sick. That's a different thing. But isopropyl alcohol, if it doesn't have added bitterants, can be used. The added bitterants are what we can't get out, and isopropyl alcohol can technically be removed as long as it doesn't have added bitterants. You're good to go. I think it's fun, and we'll get some lasers just for you, Johnny, or at least have an effect on the stream. Thank you, Typhoid. Ah, it's okay. I got a hard head, Greens. I've taken a lot of hard things to my fucking head, so we're good. Like, I was a rugby player. I've had bats broken over my head. I've been in many accidents, driven to power poles. It'll be all right. Typhoid, I've been doing voices since I was a child. I arrived at it naturally, and I've also been training as an actor since I was about 4-ish, maybe. Okay, sorry everybody. 600 ppm is bad? No, just low. When we're talking about using a bottle nutrient. Yes, Autism Dad 1212, bring that up. I'm just trying to play catch up right now. We could totally talk about that. Yes, The Quiet Witch, Lab 2 is essentially acquired, but I don't have the sale of my house 100% done, but we're going to fucking get this done, and it's going to be all right. 1 second here, everybody. Yes, that's totally fine to use, Tom Torres, as long as your initial wood source was not from something that had sprays or chemicals on it, aka treated wood, etc. What's happening, Gregory Allen Reed? Welcome to the show. Hello, Felicia. Good to show. How many times have I been shot? We're not going to talk about that publicly. Ha ha! I did it! I read everything. For now. I've caught up. Good times. All right. Now, I believe that deserves another drink. But so we're going to go migrate because I didn't bring the ginger ale or the whiskey into here. And then we'll have another toke. Have another smoke. Keep on going, you know what I'm saying? Let's see if there's any background noise. Is the TV on right now, baby? Could you pause it for 2 seconds for me? We don't want copyright infringement. Thank you so much, baby. Just don't want to have any of that copyright infringement stuff in the background. So everybody, 1 second. Uncle Potsquatch is going to make a drink. Today on the show, we're drinking Wise's Deluxe. Good stuff. Wise's, you should sponsor the show. I'll start drinking it more often in the show. Good whiskey, Canadian whiskey. It's not like Crown. Crown's too sweet. At least for me personally. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. Da, 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 da. There we go. There we go. And then we'll be back with you in a second, everybody. I'm just rewarding myself for the fact that I was able to process that amount of information very quickly to try to catch up on the chat. Now watch this. There's going to be even more now, and I'm going to be spooked. But I'll catch up again. There we go. Ba, 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 ba. Thank you so much, Dolce. Would you like to say hello, everyone, as they walk by? No? All right. Thanks, buddy. Do, 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 do. Whoop. What's up, kitty? All right, everybody, we're back. cat says hi. All right, everybody. Now, let's see what else we've missed. If you mean fungus gnats, I mean, peppermint oil isn't really something I would ever... It can be used as a general deterrent, I guess, but really if you have a fungus gnat issue going on, what you really need to do is, let's be honest, there's 1,001 things you can do with stuff around home, but the fastest nuke existence to soil propagating fungus gnat cultures, okay? And they're annoying. They're not the most detrimental things at all by any means for our plants, but it's something I think a lot of us fight and deal with. For those of you new to the channel, yes, I am taking a piss, but we're an honest YouTube. It's called Live Stream During a Live Stream. It goes back many years in this show. Now, at the end of the day, my friends, beneficial nematodes are the most amazing thing in terms of anything recently that I've actually tried to use in terms of really dealing with those irritating asshole fungus gnats, okay? So at the end of the day, give beneficial nematodes a try. The ones I typically buy, the most easily accessible ones I found, are on Amazon. It's great. Just go on Amazon, type in pot popper. Good to go, baby. And you'd be astonished at how quickly that can help you get or even eradicate, you know, every level of fungus gnat infestation there. 1 second, everybody. We're going to have a dirty party now. And we'll keep reading and catching up again. Two seconds. All right. Now. Let's read. That sounds intense, Michael Montgomery. What's up, Irish Wanderer? Welcome to the show. Everyone who's joining the show, new, Felicia, etc., everybody, welcome to the show. Good to see you, baby. All right. Am I still putting containers up for the big grow space? Not for the new grow space. We're doing that new initial grow space inside. I'm looking for another property where we're going to be doing the company facility. That's just the way we've had to go. Couldn't afford a place big enough for that. Still, the new house is almost $500,000 as it is, so. The market here is going a little stupid, everybody. I'm just reading and playing catch up. All right. For those of you, yes, Felicia was here in the much earlier days of our live streams. We haven't seen her in a while. Welcome back, my sister and my friend. All right to you. Yes, we are growing all over the world, day by day. Lots of people. Diatomaceous earth does not work for gnats. Don't fall for it. No, I Spy Retro, I mean, it can help a little bit. But you see, you got to remember, diatomaceous earth is only addressing the larval state, okay, of the fungus gnat. So basically, and again, it's not an end-all, be-all fix. That's why these days I'm like, fuck it, just use nematodes, everybody. It's the way to go. Just use your DE for basic silica requirements and you're good. No, Felicia, Casper, Skippy, Limpy, things are going crazy in British Columbia right now, and especially in Vancouver. It has actually been extremely hard for us to try to find a place. And every place, the property we are getting was the fourth property. The first three, either we just didn't move quick enough or were vastly outbid. We actually almost lost the new house. We were locked into a sales agreement. Someone came along and offered them $200,000 more than I did, and I offered them close to my top budget. So, We basically lost the ability to wait till March 18th to remove our conditions and had 48 hours to do it, or else we lost the house, and I sold this house. So, anyway, long story short, it's a crazy real estate market in British Columbia right now. Well, Tate the Ray with the first meeting, you never know until you know someone, right? So, I'm always very calculating, especially when it's a new meeting. Hey, I caught up. All right, there we go. Back on track, baby. Now we will keep up, or try to. Yeah, no, it's been silly. Like in Vancouver, everybody at home, when we were trying to fight to find the new property, well, we were trying to find a property where, we could not only have Lab 2, but also build a company. That's not happening. But we at least have a big, beautiful, more than twice the size Lab 2 for us to continue making content for you. And then we can at least start doing all the breeding program work that we need to do for the company when we inevitably find the space or figure that part of it out. And I was just trying to kill two birds with one stone if possible, but it was not in the end possible. So I picked the more important bird for now. So, but it's silly. Like in Vancouver, things are selling. Some places are selling for like $2 million over asking. And then other areas, things are selling for like anywhere from like 100 to 200 to 300, $400,000 over asking. Funnily enough, in that market, I actually like took a really low offer because I like had a new house to go to, and it was like the one house, like nothing. Like it was just, I'm like this little house purchasing force, me and the wife, and we're just like, this market's ridiculous right now. We're so fucked. Like, okay, we gotta move, gotta move. We found something that would meet some basic needs. I was like, all right, let's do this shit. So in order to kind of seal the deal and not lose the new property, but you know what? It's all potential profit. We've made money on the home since the initial purchase. That's how we're buying a newer, bigger house. Well, it's not a newer house. It was built in 1967. Summer love, baby. Don't worry, we had a housing inspection done. I mean, so nothing's gonna kill us there. But it's like a real house. It's a big step up, a lot more space for us to be able to kind of do. So, like, hell, at the end of the day, if she wanted to, Mrs. Potsquatch can lock Uncle Potsquatch in the basement in the lab and just keep working. But yeah, so we got a nice young new family who's got an offer. They haven't removed all their conditions currently, but I think they will, and I'm pretty sure it's theirs. And it makes me happy to help a young family get into their first house. So that's a beautiful next movement for our house, I think. So I like that. Oh, I know, man. Back in the day, it's Uncle Potsquatch doesn't do too many bones. Like once in a blue moon, I do bones. I got a nice big bone, but I don't use it a lot. One second here, everybody. Just reading again. Trying to play catch up. Yeah, no. But it's like, you know what? The good, exciting thing is not only, and what I'm excited about is the new space, everybody, for the channel, the new lab, quote unquote, okay, has enough space that not only now can I run a controlled flowering room at all times for you to watch, okay, because that's a thing, because it's a fucking thing. So we're gonna have a main normal flowering chamber. Uh, every 7 days a week, that chamber will doth produce wee ditty of traditional pot squats running goes, and obviously the subtle tweaks that we normally do in between rounds. Now, there's a lot more space in this place. So we're going to be doing lots of control experiments. We're going to be doing, maybe we'll do some more cooking if you like, but we're going to be doing some breeding programs and a how-to step by step. We're going to also do a chronological video series on that. We're going to be doing pretty much a lot of experiments, anything. And that's why we've got the new email, everybody. Potsquatch Do. That's POTSQUATCHDOO @gmail.com. All right. That's the email to send me an email. All right. To request a certain type of content or experiment or something you would like to, in fact, see on the channel. So that's totally cool. Okay. So that's fun. And plus, I think the wife is excited because there's like a whole like apartment downstairs that like I can just keep my shit in now. And then, she gets the upstairs. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, giant ass kitchen. It's gonna be beautiful. And it's a backyard for karaoke barbecues. It's gonna be a good time, my friends, I tell you. It's gonna be a good time. And I'm excited. So, but at the same time, given how, like, let's be frank, it has been a fairly stressful couple of 2 months. So right now, though, since we pretty much saved the day, quote unquote, almost basically, okay, and we know where we're going, or else I'm getting sued for $500,000. So, breach of contract to sale, as it were, okay. But I am designing all the new shit for the show. Like, we're also too, like, this is one of the last live streams that you'll ever see that won't be all fancy now. I've been learning Streamlabs and shit. I've been learning Streamlabs. I've been learning how to, like, do things and what equipment I need to get and stuff and fancy microphones. So this voice will sound all the more to you. Dun dun dun. And, well, hell, we might even step up some resolutions and I might look even more hideous to you. No, Hard Rock Pop. I'm drinking rye ginger right now. It's a rye ginger. Oh, yeah, man. I'm going to try to make this pretty. Well, not this, but the metaphorical this, which is the show. I mean, the cool thing is, yes, DJ Drew 24V, totally moving into like a neighborhood. Totally, like, so there's houses. I mean, the cool thing is the old house has a laneway on the back, so it'll be perfect. I'll drive my truck. Well, it's not my truck. I drive Cadillacs. I'll borrow my wife's truck. It'll go to the grocery store, and I can load all the dirt into the lab through the back. You know what I'm saying? Because there is like an old-fashioned laneway, which is super rare in BC because land's so expensive. And so there are neighbors, but like we'll see how cool they is, right? But I'm not worried, man. I own that damn house. I even own the land of this new one. So, and I'm a nice neighbor. So if you don't like me, that's your choice. But it'll be fun. We're gonna even do some nature videos. I'm actually contemplating because I made friends with a few of the locals up there. Even my mortgage guy lives up there, and he's a big, like, outdoorsy kind of guy. Goes out in his quads a lot, and so there's a couple of off remote areas. We may even go try to make an outdoor guerrilla style thing for fun, just as an exploratory piece for education, and we'll see what that looks like. But you never know. Sky's the limit, my friends. Except in the new lab, the ceilings are about my height. It was funny, because the woman who's selling the house to me is Welsh, and I'm part Welsh, but it's like if you meet my Welsh relatives from Wales, they're quite tiny people. I'm all like, man, of course this house is owned by a Welsh woman. All right. Sounds good, the Quiet Witch. Now we just got to get his ass to move out west from the east coast of Canada, that's all. Salute to you, Jason. Well, I'm trying sold price. As hard as this old. I was born 90, everyone. So the fact that I'm actually learning how to do some of these things is very exciting. Howdy to you, Chem D. Welcome to the show, my friend. Peace out to you at Jeremiah Sanchez. Sorry that I missed you saying goodbye, but I hope you're doing well. All right, I'm caught up. So who? Me and who, Greens? Do you mean you, Greens, or do you mean someone else? Who do you mean? See you later, Jeremiah Sanchez. Thank you for joining the show today, my friend. When was I born? When was I personally born? Well, okay, for those of you who know how old I am, you're not allowed to, I like playing this game. When do you think I was born? Dun, dun, dun. The pressure is on. Oh, me and Daddy? If we were neighbors? Oh, man, yeah. If she was my neighbor, I would be so hitting on her. Luckily, she's my wife. So I could just hit on her now. I was not born in the 90s, no. That's my one clue. to you, Michael Montgomery. I was not born in 77 either, though. That's wrong. How old do you think I am? Quite possibly Johnny Summertime, especially when we have our excitable shows or if I try to move on stuff. You should also see where like there's like the main house up top, right? And the new Potsquatch Growers lab is like in the basement. I'm from Ontario originally, so I'm very excited about a basement, a real basement that's been renovated. It's exciting. But so you should see the stairs coming down. There's like a stair. Like if I walked head up, there's like a big giant beam on this old house right here at my face, coming down the stairs to where the new lab is. And yeah, I am not 36. Am I in my 70s? No, Michael Montgomery. I know you meant the 70s, but no. I can't answer that. It's too generic. We've got to have fun with this game. So no, I'm not in my 70s. And I can't answer whether I was born in the 70s because that defeats how, the game's got to be fun. And then whoever gets it, it's just going to be random by the end. Coffee Grower says 30. Nope. 1974 from the unofficial Chris Bliss. Nope. Johnny Summertime says 1987. Nope. Soul Price says 1985. Nope. B Brother West says 1984. Nope. Michael Montgomery guesses the range of 38 to 40. That's only really 3 years, so I'll give you that. And no. So no. I Spy Retro 1982. No. That's why I love playing this game, because actually people never quite get it for a while. It's pretty good. Roman Rector says, hey Squatch, just wanted to let you know with the double racks, having lights at 24 inches or less stress my gelato out, light toxicity happens. Lava loud, that's in veg right before flipping and flower, etc. Remember in the flowering window, you might be able to get a little bit closer, but you got to remember, yeah, certain genetics will be very sensitive to it, and our lights crank, baby. They super crank, so be careful. Greens and 373 says, I was 1971. I know you're close. Aha! Well, maybe yes, maybe no, but no. All right. The Mayan says 35. No. Soul Price goes 1981. No. All right. That's right. Jason Houlihan. I'm basically returning to the origin stories of my people of the BC growers. Places that are way too short, hidden away in the ground. Not quite, but pretty damn close in the basement. I'm not born in the 90s. I'll give you that. I am not born in the 90s. We could be, Michael, and we could not be. B Brother West says, I'm 34. And to that, I'm going to say no. No, Autism Dad, we're just playing a fun game about seeing how old people think I am or when I was born. Once we finish the game, I'll answer your question 100%, my friend. Sorry about that. All right. Tanner McLean says 1979. No. Michael Montgomery says, you're 42. No. You're not allowed. Oh, you ruined the game, Roman Reckless. Oh, you told them the answer. I wanted someone who didn't know to guess it. Okay, fine. Fuck it. Game's over. Roman ruined it. It's okay, Roman. I'm not mad. But I like playing this game. So, for those of you who get to play this game for the first time in the shows, know that sometimes when there's new people in the shows, I like to play this game. So don't ruin it, because I quite enjoy it. I am 32 years old, everybody. Hate to let you down. Oh my God, this person I potentially maybe looked up to or got help from and I thought was my age or older than me. Don't feel bad. Since I was about 21, people have thought I've been in my late 30s, early 40s. I've been getting auditions to play dads in their mid to late 30s, early 40s, late 40s since I was, 21, 22 in the acting world. People always think I'm old. And it's okay. It doesn't bother me now. When I was younger, maybe a little bit. I was like, I'm not old. Now I'm just like, fuck it. I guess I'm just going to live my life as a decrepit old man. We'll just accept it. But yeah, no, I am 32, everybody. Which would put me being born in 1988, Year of the Dragon. July 5th. I am a Cancer who had cancer. I am a fire water sign. I enjoy long walks on the beach if it's rainy because I hate the sun. But going forward, those of you who know the answer, don't ruin this game the next time it happens. I only get to play it every few months, when new audience members come in. Don't ruin it for me. Come on. I like this game. It's fine. Ganja Nani Old Mama, I'll just call you age 60. How's that sound? Yeah, Johnny Summertime. My buddy Michael Goob is the same way. He still gets ID'd sometimes. Um, this beard? No, this beard's only 2 years and probably 4 months old. 2 years, 3 months, 2 years and 4 months old, this beard. I shaved it. The last time I shaved it, it was when I was on set shooting Hitler's Last Stand season 2. They called me to come back for season 3, and I said, you can't afford to get me to shave this thing off. No, 2 years and 3 or 4 months, Ganja out of your mama. That's okay, Greens at 373 steel. I know I've spent my whole life looking old. So I'm hoping that I just look like this for the next 100 years. We'll see what happens. I can dream, can't I, everybody? Let me dream. Let me dream. I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty. I'm just joking. I'm just being silly. Yeah, I know. Thanks for rubbing it in, the unofficial Chris Bliss. Thanks a lot. Jason Houlihan, I am a guitarist. Typically, I'm more of, I'm a little rusty now. I haven't played tons in the last couple of years. I played a lot when I was younger. Mostly played blues, rock and roll, old school rock. Blues is my favorite thing. I just like riffing out lead, solo, random riff shit. I'm just getting high and drunk. Happy soon to be birthday, Greens 373 Steel. We still need to have a conversation because I really want to order an order of custom throwing stars from your bladesmitheries. Yeah, it's true. Well, I think I was actually I think Johnny Karaoke when you first met me though. I don't think I had a beard when you first met me. Maybe you didn't even register the memory because then I started growing the beard out. Then I had to shave it for the television show. And then I didn't shave after that. But the great thing is though, I've got a pay stub from when I got paid from that shit, and that's roughly when I just like stopped not shave or I let it grow up. There we go. If you actually go back in time on the channel, you can find videos of me. I didn't release my face for a year and a half, 2 years on the channel, but once I finally did, initially, you can see me with like a clean shaven face on some of them, I think, or at least you can see me with stubble beard. I never really had hair though. I'm sorry. I've been balding the whole time. I apologize. For the people at home who wished I had hair, sorry. I've just got it in other places, not here. Alex Squatch, how much would it cost him to make me shave? To be honest with you now, unless I was offered like a lead role in a film making like, well, at least hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it was a role I wanted to do. Like it'd have to be a role I really, really wanted to do. I think I'd let for the right role maybe some trimming happening, but the fact is, as an actor, a lot of my early acting teachers always said to me, they're like, look, you're brilliant, you're funny, and you're different. But unless you achieve some form of celebrity, no one's ever going to cast you for fuck all. Like, you're not going to do the normal roles that kind of starts a career. So unless you can achieve that somehow, I think you're fucked. And I was like, yeah, that's probably about right, So for the right role, it would still take hundreds of thousands of dollars now, because the only real thing is my true great career achievement, I believe, is being myself, or being the Potsquatch and doing this stuff now. And I'm still being creative. I'm still doing media, and I get to be funny while I do what I do, and I like that. But hell, maybe one day I'll shave it for charity. Fact is, I can grow a beard faster than almost anyone. There's a few people I know that can grow it maybe slightly faster than I, but so it's like, it's hair. This part ain't going bald, will grow back. Maybe one day we'll shave it for charity, and everyone around the world will be like, "Oh my God, that's what was under that!" Ah! Anyway, just having fun here. Fuck yeah, Joe Quadruple 7B. Killing it, baby. I love it. Or do you mean you're 1970, Joe? Or do you mean you're 70 years old? Well, there you go, Roan Reckless. You got to send me a picture. And if we really want to get weird, we'll measure our beards together. How's yours looking? Well, and it's like this thing, God, your mom. I used to have hair. It was thinning, but I shaved my hair for charity one night drunkenly at a bar. I was sitting watching a charity event. Okay. I had long hair at the time, and they were raising no money. And it was, I don't even remember what it was for. It may have been cancer. It may have been for kids in some way. I was drinking at the bar quietly watching this event. And, well, I was sad that they weren't raising any money. So I decided to participate. So I went out. I was like, "Hey, can I join it if I can raise money in the bar?" She goes, "Yeah, we're not really raising anything, so go for it." So I actually ended up raising $1,900 that night from random patrons in the bar to shave all my hair off. And then I shaved off the hair, and it never grew back in the front. The universe is like, all right, he's doing this one for real this time. Potsquatch does Dallas, like as in goes to Dallas and gets drunk and high and hangs out and meets people. I'd go to Dallas. Why not? I'd love to go to. I was supposed to be going to Texas for Mike's wedding, but with the COVID crap, it's just going to be way too expensive and way too hard. Plus, now I got to move. Actually, funny thing is, Johnny Summertime, even without a beard, no. I don't ever get ID'd. Since the age of 13, without a beard, I've been able to go to bars. Even without the beard, I've never been ID'd. That's Uncle Michael. He gets ID'd all the time. But yeah, no. I simply put, I've never, ever been ID'd, really, ever. Oh, dude. Wyatt W246. Like, I mean, that's got to be one of the most beautiful things anyone's ever just said to me, especially in a long time on the show. Thank you, man. Or lady, or ze or they, however you identify. But thank you very much. That's really beautiful. Kind of feel weird reading it. Just it's very touching though. But I'll read it. Everybody, Wyatt W246 said. You have inspired me so much through the years to follow my passion and continue to learn day to day about cannabis. That means a lot to me, you know. Wyatt W246. I don't think I started the channel to inspire, but I did start the channel for those who loved cannabis and wanted to learn and wanted a place where they could learn some stuff so they could begin to fuck around, make it easier to kind of get there and sort of get to that initial basic success rate and start to kind of delve into deeper things on it. And so I am humbly honored that I helped you to get there, and that means a lot to me. Thank you for sharing. Thank you very much. Michael Montgomery, I grow giant long hairs to the tops of my ears since I was 26. They go super long. Ask my wife. She's like, Jesus Christ, that was not there yesterday. I'm like, I know. Well, there's not really a possible way of that, Chem D. Probably. I've never tried to do that, Chem D. So my main thing would be is just keep them nutting and busting, and before you put him in with the new chick, maybe trim off a bunch of his flower clusters and see if you can achieve some new growth and new sort of balls coming on. And if you could pull that off, then throw her in there with that to knock her up is what I would say in terms of that. That's my best guess on that one. I think it would probably work, and that's possible, but this is me theorizing. I haven't technically done this experiment yet for that one, buddy. Oh, I've already got addresses. I have another apartment in Vancouver that you can always send. That's where my business partner lives now. So Greens 373 Steel though. I'd love to have a chat sometime about that though. And I want to order some knives too, some custom knives. Hey, thank you very much, Self-Made Buzz. I hope you're well too. I'm doing all right, my friend. What's a foot long, Stony Baker MT? Oh, my beard? I don't know. I mean, to the technical tip, I guess, I don't know. I've never actually measured it. I was just joking that way, but I don't know. uh, Rest in peace, kitty cat. One second, everybody. I'm just trying to read everything and catch up now. All right, I'm caught up. Wyatt W246. I mean, a lot of people. I've even been approached by a couple of my. Well, no, they're my friends' publishing companies, so it's not like just someone randomly approached me. It's people I know and have networked to become friends with. But I have been approached, even if I were to put together kind of a grow Bible on my stuff. I have a lot of writings that I have, even over the years, on stuff that I could put together. I just feel that for me personally, as a grower, to write something that would be called or considered to that level of a thing, of where, yes, okay, I could have technically written one 6 years ago in a lot of my thoughts and philosophies of things I've played with and developed and stuff or learned. And um, I just don't personally feel Uncle Potsquatch is at the place where I feel ready to do that, to where it would be right. I think one day maybe I'll write the first edition, but it would be something I would keep updating, or maybe I'll just quietly write one and I'll release it when I'm dead. Well, that I guess probably none of you would like that. You probably want to read it sooner than me being dead. So, well, you never know when the proverbial bus comes. But I mean, so I'm open to the concept, but I wouldn't necessarily do that right now. I'd like to fuck around with more experiments before I commit to doing such a project. I'm doing well, brother Rick 702. How you doing, baby? Well, Michael Montgomery, there's talk about those things, of course, at all times. But the way I look at it too is like a bajillion countries in the world I have to take a bunch of vaccines to go to anyway. So, what's one more? I think a lot of people are freaking out about this new vaccine in a silly way. That's why I actually almost went to take it the other day, and I was going to film it for all of you because I know, and I won't lie to you, part of me's a little freaked out by it too, right? The hoopla, and it's to my understanding, it's been developed quicker than anything ever has, so that's never boded well in our history. But fuck it, So the second I can get it, I'm going to go take it. I'll film it for all of you, and I'll let you know if anything happens. Don't think I'm going to grow a second head or anything. And in terms of a travel thing of having to have a vaccine to travel, I mean that already exists. It's been a thing for a long time. Maybe not the whole open world, but I mean so I'm not really personally too worried about it, everybody. But let's not worry about talking about these things in terms of that. Oh, Julio from Denver has a question, Squatch. All right, perfect. My first harvest is this Saturday. Any pointers or suggestions? Julio from Denver. Typically, if you have the space to dry your cannabis plants, I like to cut the whole plant down. Cut the whole plant down and hang that whole thing. Before you cut her down, okay, go through and pluck out most of your main fan leaves, if I were doing it. Pluck a lot of that main plant fan leaf out, or if you've got the space where you can like hang her upside down, so you cut her at the bottom stalk, then hang her upside down, put it over a container, how we often have done it in videos you've seen. I was teaching Michael and Caden how to do this last time, and then you kind of spin her around and you just sort of strip all these main fans out. Then you hang that whole plant to dry that way. Okay. And part of why we do this, there's actually a bunch of cannabinoids also in the stalks as well, and the life juices. And you got to remember the tissues of your plant are slowly dying during the drying process, but they're still living, right? So all of these life juices are going to flow down through the main segments of your plants into the tops and into the rest of it. And that's just kind of what we do, right? So that, and remember when the drying happens after harvest, right? Keep an eye window on it. I like to shoot for a 10 to 12 day drying window. That's my happy place in terms of timelines on things, okay? But remember when checking your drawing, check the tops, okay? And then also check the scraggly bits at the top. Very commonly, you're going to find with your cannabis, even if your tops feel dry, okay? Check the smalls and weird scraggly large smaller parts at the top, because if they still feel wet, it's still wet, okay? And then I guarantee you go trim into those tops that feel dry at the time, and you go put them in a jar, it's going to mold on you, okay? So you check both parts, right? And what we're looking for is we want to find a nice consistency throughout that. So we check the buds first gently, right? And then we go through, we check the plant, okay, to see where the cracking happens. We want a nice, consistent, subtle crack throughout our main stalks, our medium stalks, our small stalks, okay? And that's what we're looking for, okay? So, yes, I think I've given you all my quick tips on going into your first time doing this. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask them. Thank you for pointing that out, by the way, Michael Montgomery. I appreciate it, because I don't like missing important questions. So thank you, my friend. Dry trim is the only way to go, everybody. In my humble 2 cents. In my humble 2 cents. Well, I feel you, Joe Quadruple 7B. What you got to do is get yourself into a production window where that isn't an issue then. Do I think in other dimensions they grow weed? Well, I mean, if you mean in other dimensions in this reality, I don't think necessarily physical pot plant could exist there. Or if you mean in other general realities or interdimensions of just different timelines or hypotheticals, yeah, I would hope they grow weed in them. But, it's hard to say. No, but see, Joe quadruple seven B, it's the only way to truly do it. But then again, I mean, to me, it's an artisanship, right? Like everything must be done to the best of my ability in my situation terms to every run and every way of doing it. It's part of the pride of being a weed titty person, right? Plus, also too, from an industry standpoint, if you always do things properly and make them really special, when people get to meet them, they go, "What the fuck was that?" Right? Have you grown a second head, Greens? One second here, everybody. I'm just playing catch up. Dude, that sounds awesome, Jason Houlihan. That sounds sexy. Because at the end of the day, Michael Montgomery, I mean, let's not talk too much about this, but I mean, the main thing is I'm going to hit you this way. Let's do some basic math. Do you have any idea how many people, what 2 or 3% of the population is, bud? And the fact is we live in a world where there's a lot of people, a larger amount of people surviving in this new modern day age that we care about, that are part of our society, okay? Where this bug can fuck them up, okay? So it's not about whether I think I would die from that. I fuck, man. I'd take, for hell, I'd happily for science even go get it right now and sit in a room and let them watch, and I'd be fine. Like, I have no worry about it personally for me, but it's not about me. It's about giving a shit about other people, right? And at the end of the day, that's the general point of it, because this thing has the potential, okay, that a lot of the more vulnerable people in terms of their medical health of our world, okay, could get fucked by it, okay? That's the point of it. It's not us saying most people would die from it. It's about trying to be aware that, like, there's a very actual decent percentage of our population, and if you actually look at, like I said, what 1, 2, 3% of the world's population is, it's a staggering number. Okay, it's about just giving a shit that way. So don't freak out about it. There's so many more important things for us to freak out about. So just move on, deep breath, and it's okay. Well, thank you very much, JM Dermati. Sadly, you found me in the last week where, we're kind of, I hate to say it, but I feel like we're stagnating at times. Like, we're not growing right now or getting to make any of our normal content. We're doing it because we're trying to get the new lab going and the new place going and the new shit and all that crap, etc. If you go back in a couple of stuff, you can kind of piece it together. But the new lab's coming. We're gonna move in May 3rd. It's gonna be a great time. So thank you. It's nice to know that occasionally someone new will come along, even right now, where we're all like, we don't even have any place, man. But it's going to be all right. So thank you very much for joining the Potsquatch Growers Anime family around the world. We are a place of all the peoples around the world who love weed titties and have a good time. Welcome, my friend. Taser Ray, that's just not bloody true, buddy. It's such a subtle thing, man. And then it's mainly a few skin reactions, and there's only been a few confirmed deaths. I'm sorry. If you looked into any normal medical thing that's been developed, people do die occasionally with it. It's not so. Don't let fear-based statistics play into your brain on this one. Okay, everybody. I'm not telling you to get it. If you don't want to get it, don't get it. Okay? But I'm going to give you my honest 2 cents as someone who's not a complete idiot on it. Okay? And at the end of the day, just don't freak out. And everyone, just, at the end of the day, the main thing right now, we are trying to get through this. It's not about the majority of the population. It's about the fact that we live in a modern day time where we have the highest percentage of vulnerable people in terms of our population because of advancements we've made, okay? So if you have anyone in your life that has a compromised immune system or anything like that, do you love them? Do you give a shit? Would you like them to be able to go for a beer with you and still see you at a family gathering? Because for them, this cocksucker for almost all of us won't be that bad. It's true. But we live at a time where one of the highest percentages we've ever had, or the highest percentage we've ever had, vulnerable people because of other advancements we've made, okay? So we're like doing really good at taking care of ourselves. This time, though, there's some of us out there that we got to not be assholes. It's about helping them and making sure they cannot, because some people get really sick from it. My stepdad was one of them. He got really sick from it. He was diabetic and it fucked him. Not dead, but it's just about that. Stop freaking out. Stop buying into crap and fear mongering. It's real. Let's be respectful. It's not the end of the world. And vaccines aren't the devil, and Bill Gates isn't trying to put a fucking microchip in your head. Okay? It's about taking care of the vulnerable people. And I know a lot of you out there, I'm friends with you on Facebook, everyone makes posts, and I know sometimes I go off on these tangents, but I'm just giving my humble 2 cents on this one, okay? This isn't a conspiracy of this or that right now. Okay? Don't be a fucking dumbass. Give your head a shake. There's so many more important things out there for us to worry about right now. Okay? Not saying be ignorant. Not saying be dumb. But I'm also saying don't be dumb. It's never been about that crap. So, we're not going to talk about this anymore. But at the end of the day, take a deep breath. Love yourself. Love the people around you. And just, it's just about basically standing up for people. That's what we're doing. It's not about even them. It's about us. Okay? If we can't learn to work together and get along, whole fucking planet's fucked. This world isn't made by governments or ruling powers. This world is made up of you and me. All of us. The fact is, this stupid cocksucker of ours could kill a decent little percentage of the population. And that may not sound from a pragmatic point to you like much if you think about it as 1, 2, or 3%, let's say. Okay? Go do the math on what 1 or 2, 3% of 7 billion is. Just saying. My wife's immunocompromised. I have people in my family who are immunocompromised. Just because I fucking can barely be killed by anything, okay, I do my part so I don't get them sick. Just because I can get sick and not die from something doesn't mean I don't care about the people around me. And that's the whole point of it. Let's worry about the important things, my friends. And get back to business. Anyway, let's talk about weeds. Sorry, I know that went a little tangenty on that one, but, you know. Great question, Wyatt W246. Let's go with this one. Can you explain the difference between each concentrate, such as solventless or rosin versus wax versus diamonds? Okay. Yes. So solventless, rosin is a solventless extract. Okay. So solventless is a rosin. A basic solventless reaction or creation, I should say, is caused by us not using a solvent base to extract active cannabinoids from flower. Okay. So when we make rosin, we're using heated plates and typically a screen, a press bag, okay, to keep sort of particulate and plant material out of it. And we're going to press down on it and excrete the juices out of the weed titty, the natural essential oils, as it were. We are not creating this via a solvent. We are creating this via pressure and heat, okay? Now, when you take butane or other petrol or gas-based blasting motifs, okay, to strip out the essential oils and the trichs or the active cannabinoids, but that's what we're doing with everything we're creating. We're making dabs, we're making an extract, or we're trying to find a way to concentrate the active ingredients. Well, what are the active ingredients? Well, they're cannabinoids, terpenes, flavonoids, etc., etc. But it's all active in the actual life juice or the hash oils, the natural essential oils of the plant. So it's different forms and ways of removing it. Okay, so a rosin is produced with heat and pressure in basic motif. Other extracts are built using, blasting or chemical things. You can also do CO2, but for that one to work, you actually have to have a thing to liquefy your CO2 and blast it through that way. There's a bunch of little toys you need to do it properly. So now, diamonds in and of themselves is where you will take an extract, and I'm not intimate in making them, but and I can't remember exactly the crap you used to do it. But, because again, I'm kind of old school. I make rosins. I'm into that. I make hash. I make old school hash oil. That's what I'm into, right? But it is, to my understanding, a chemically induced thing, and we add certain things to that, and then it begins to actually start to grow the crystals and strip out the extracts in the jar. I can guarantee you, I'm sure there's a bunch of people on YouTube who could tell you a hell of a lot more about it than I am right now. But that's the basic functionality of how you do it. Now, when I make like a rosin, for example, I can bake it, it'll start to crystallize naturally. Sometimes when you leave things on their own, there's a natural process where the crystals can come. But at the same time, where you age things for too long, you can lose terpenes and flavonoids, and it kind of degrades stuff a little bit. So it's a bit of this and it's a bit of that, if that makes sense, right? Nathan Burrow says, are there any consistencies to look out for in the plants when timing your flush? Okay, so the main thing to look out for in terms of that, I'm using soil outdoors. Oh, okay. Better that I should think about it that way then. And when I was transferring 900% of window. 100%. Online flower startup. Yeah, so Nathan Burrow, again, so it's still going to be the same kind of thing in terms of basic indoor stuff. Remember, with an outdoor reality, you're still having rain and all of these other things, so it's not quite the same as using a full-out medium where you've got it in the bucket. It's completely locked within yourself with all the salts, etc., etc., etc. So outdoor, using a bottle newt, you can still flush for sure, but it's not going to be the same type of flushing. The flushing motif I was speaking to earlier in the show, and I've often speaking to on the shows, has more to do with you're in a pot, right? Like there's a very controlled area of medium where my roots are and what I'm doing. So, that's where I'm going hard on that 2-week flush, and I'm hitting it in the ways that I'm hitting it. In terms of outdoors, it's not quite the same. Because remember, if you're planting directly into the ground, okay, haha. If it's outdoors in a pot, then yes, you would flush similar to that. Then you're just going to look for your trichrome colors. You know what I'm saying? When you start to see that really start kind of like 50-50 to 60-70% sort of clear conversion to cloudy or milky, that's when we're starting to see that. So maybe pull back on feed. Start to watch how fast she begins to mature over the outdoor season. Remember, outdoors is going to have an elongated window classically compared to its indoor version of running it. It's just how that gradual curve of outdoor maturation works. So begin to watch it, cut back your feed at that point, and then when you start to see maybe 80-90% milkiness starting to happen, and if she's starting to mature faster and faster over a period of time, maybe start doing that kind of flush window. And at the end of the day, tricolor is always going to be the thing. And I mean, I'm not a great outdoor person, I'll admit it. I've done it before. I am strictly predominantly my teachings and experience over the last 20 plus years are in an indoor world, but I'm not an idiot, and I understand the plant and I understand what's happening outdoors. And I've consulted and helped a lot of outdoor grows over the years. I've done it for work even, but I mean, my playground is typically inside. But I'm going to start doing that. But a lot of people do reference kind of the traditional harvesting window seasons of their area. So it's kind of like, let's start it this way. Ask some of your neighbors if you have any neighbors you can talk to, or look up on the internet in this general area, where do growers harvest? When's that harvesting window? So you typically will get like a 3 to 6, 7 week window in most places where people are starting to bring stuff down. And then, hell, just if you want to go simply, go at that time, start to look at your, trike colors, and then take it down when it's at the perfect trichromes for you. If that makes sense. I agree with you, my friend Tesseray. One second here, everybody. I'm just trying to read. What's up, TJ, baby? How you doing? One second, everybody. I'm just playing catch up. Exactly, Eugene. Almost here. How far behind am I, bloody, right now? One second here. Wow, I fell behind really hard on here. Sorry for that, everybody. Bloody hell. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up now. Holy crap. I wish I could have read more. Or I'm absorbing it quickly, not responding to anyone, but wow. A lot of messages. Uh, Tyler Vanderheiden, it depends on where you are in terms of outdoors for what strain would be the best. Whew. All right, there we go. Whew. I caught up. My goodness. Oh, that one actually burnt my eyes a little bit. I was focused. I was like, that burnt my eyes a little bit to do that one, ladies and gentlemen. But we did it. We got there. All right. What are my dots? I'm going for a dot. But I'm also enjoying this show, by the way. I don't have any, sadly. Tyler Vanderheiden. I'm assuming you haven't been here on the channel in a while, or you're new. We are currently right now in between labs. We are currently in breakdown, selling the house, buying another house, and the new lab's going to be over 900 square feet. We're going to do a lot of fun, new, wonderful experiments. We're going to completely rebuild these live stream shows and make professional looking edited videos that are still insane to me because I'm making them. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be called Potsquatch, but sexy. It's going to be great. But so right now, I ain't got nothing going. It's been killing me, man, for a couple of months. It's been, driving me insane. But we're working on it. Is it raining now? No, it was raining earlier. And now it's blue skies. And then we had sun. Like, it was like sunny, and then we had a showing today. Because even though we have an offer on the house, another showing set up for backup because they haven't removed all their conditions yet. And it was sunny. and then it was raining and pissing rain, and now there's blue sky again. It's very confusing here in BC. This is all in the last hour and 50 minutes. Well, Tyler Vanderheim in Canada. Typically, I'll buy Next Originals, king size. If I'm over in Germany, I'll typically smoke L&M in red. Uh, if I'm in France, I will smoke Galois orange, but then usually switch to Galois blue. Holland, just for nostalgia's sake, because a lot of my Dutch friends back in the day smoked Lucky Strikes. I'd probably smoke those in Holland. Oh yeah, Jason Houlihan. I mean, we've been doing it since high school that way. Just make the long skinny, man. Little hash snake, roll her out. Or if she's a crumbly hash, then break her down that way. Or if she's a proper hot press kind of dry hash, then you just heat it up and it kind of turns into sand and just crumble that sand into it. But that's kind of more of the traditional hash making styles. That's why I miss old school European hash that was imported back in the day. I mean, it comes into Canada, but it's far too expensive for me to ever really acquire because it's just too much. Joe Quadruple 7B asks me, am I concerned about the royal family? I have no more concern for the royal family than I would any other family out there. So I wish my fellow human beings well, but I am not no more concerned than anyone else. Let me put it to you that way. She ain't my queen. Why W246? I mean, I don't think I know enough about Maine's community to really make a statement. What I would say, I guess, as my response statement to that is I'm very excited to see a bunch of different communities that are starting to come up within the United States and to see a competitive pot industry, but a fair one between the states. And I'd love to see what would happen if true proper legalization, which is not what Canada has right now, but a proper legalization could be executed on a federal level in the United States of America. I'd love to see what all the states would do while both working together, but at friendly competition, open that up. So I think it's great. You know, my knowledge of California, I have one because our sort of the old rivalry is between BC growers and California growers, and we're not going to get into that because it's a lot. Because I am a BC grower, so I'll just go get excited and go off on a tangent. But that's one of the classic age-old love affairs of rivalry in the pot industry. Has been between British Columbia and California. So, as a BC guy too, right? Like, hey man, if all you guys want to rise up and beat them, that could, it's not a bad thing because they were my old high school rivals, what I'm saying? So. But at the end of the day, I want a global industry that's fair for anyone around the world that can grow. Nothing wrong with a little friendly competition, us having fun together, helping each other learn, and having some fun showing off what we do. I mean, that's part of the fun, isn't it? I mean, not being a dick about it, but just having some fun and being proud of what we do. So I'd love to see the world go that way, and for the United States, I that's what I wish upon them on legalization. I hope they get a proper federal legalization. I'd love to see an inclusive industry that allows for both the little, medium, and big people at the same time. Anyone who wants to do it the way they want to do it, go for it. And then to see an inclusive, healthy industry and a little friendly competition's all right by me. So, yeah. Thoughts on bubble hash? I like bubble hash. I find it frustrating to make. I find it, at the end of the day, I find it too frustrating to make it too frequently. So I usually do something else and make different types of hash. So I like it, but I get frustrated trying to make it. I love, JM Derminity. I know you new here, but I think I love you. You're totally up my alley in thought there. I feel the same way. Well, typhoid. I'm on the West Coast, man. You know what I'm saying? West Coast. It's still light on the West Coast of North America, everybody. Oh, we hot knifed a lot ourselves back in the day as kids. Back in high school, man. Hell yeah. See you later, Johnny Karaoke. Thank you for tuning into the show. The fact is, not only were you here the whole time this time, you were here for the extra 15 minutes. And I'll probably end the show fairly soon, to be honest with you, everybody, because I got to get back to other things. Oh, shit. Okay, so that makes sense, JM. So, yeah, JM, now we on the West Coast in British Columbia, so, stay light pretty quick. It doesn't even make sense what I said, but it oddly kind of like, you know what I meant, though. Ah, good times. Okay, so just because we're doing the fun time game, it is now here. It is 5:46 p.m. here, where I live here in British Columbia, Canada. And just because it's called British Columbia doesn't mean we fucking, worship the Queen or anything. No, most Canadians don't feel any affinity to the Queen. Some of the older generations may still, but I personally, as a Canadian, my generation, most of us. I mean, she drove past my school once. I saw her head through a car window as she drove down West 16th in Vancouver. So I've seen the Queen. I was like within 16 feet of her. I went out and looked just to see. I was curious. Didn't really give a shit. It was kind of cool. I was like, all right, that's the Queen of England. Like, cool. I saw a bitch once. I can say that now. Tick off the bucket list, but that's about it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're human beings. I don't wish ill on anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when hardship befalls them, yes, that sucks. I feel bad for that, right? But let's be honest. They got a lot of money. They'll probably be okay. I think I might spend my time caring and worrying about some people that are in a slightly harder position. I don't know. Like, I don't know. The majority of the world. The working class, true heroes of humanity. Ooh, best seed strain I've ever grown. Well, there is no one best strain. I've grown way too much weed for that. There's been special ones, though. There's definitely been some special things over the years that I loved. I mean, modern day times, my Sasquatch strain, back in the days of my early experiments of crosses, that the one super mother of the Master Kush Northern Lights that I made, that was a crazy bitch. Things that I didn't invent, modern times, that I've been most recently really excited about growing. I loved that Hindu Kush. Loved how she finished. I can't wait to do more work with that one. That King's Kush we did a while back, especially that purple pheno that came out on that one, she was a dangerous lady. The bubblegum old school indica that was gifted to us, where we grow those big giant super dense super buds in the channel, and made some crazy rosin out of it. That was crazy. That was super sexy and cool. Probably, like the first Kush strains in general. Like, I mean, the first times, like, I mean, I don't even remember exactly what I was growing. Like, I mean, I've always been a Kush lover. Especially when I was about 14 or 15. So that would have been about sort of 2-3 years into my growing. And, Kush really became this sort of prevalent thing in the industry of where I live now. And so, man, like, yeah. Oh, I remember the first master kush I grew. I was like, what the fuck? And then I got to know the Burmese kushes that actually went into it to make that. And that was so cool because it was like same, but different. And that's kind of, so I wouldn't even say there's been one strain that I've ever really loved. I think my true love with cannabis has been getting to learn the beauty and diversity of the genome and spatial realities of cannabis, and just how there's just so many cool subtle variations and beauties to them. And at the end of the day, you know, I just love weed. Brandon Dostie, the longest I've kept a mother plant alive for was about 10 or 11 years, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe 12. I think it was 10 or 11, though, probably. The oldest mother plant I've ever met was almost 40 years old, to what I was told by the old growers. And to be fair, these weren't a lying folk. So, what do you mean by double live stream, coffee growers? Hey, no worries, brother Rick 702. Much love, baby. I agree, man. There's a lot of beautiful naturally occurring golden strains from around actually the world. Like one of the ones that I've got hidden away is this rare from 40 years ago, a Wahoo Golden Indica. I don't have tons of beans of her, but I'm looking forward to playing with that one. I'm kind of hoping on any of the things that I only have a few of from old school stuff. I'm like, just give me one good lady and one good man. I'm gonna make them fuck, you know. And then we have more beans to play with and go pheno hunting with and play with that. Oh, nice JM Dermadi. I don't know gold leaf, but I definitely know the Afghani world very well in terms of genetics. JM Dermati, if you haven't killed your plants yet, there ain't nothing to be worried about. Uncle Potsquatch taught himself to grow. I didn't come from a growing family. I'm the son of two priests. I had to learn in secret. The first plants I was growing indoors, like I was stealing parts out of lamps and wiring shit myself and stealing light bulbs and doing this and that. Anyway, I killed a lot of shit before I started to get it back in the hood days of the original shit where I was starting to put this shit in my brain, okay? So if you haven't killed your plants and it's your first run, you just beat Uncle Potsquatch's start. So don't ever worry about that. And we learn more from our mistakes than we ever do from our successes. That's one of the true things. One, the true grower is the forever student. You never stop learning. That's the trick. Never use the word master grower. That's fucking stupid, okay? I hate that term. It goes against everything in my mind of truth, okay? And second, you know, keep an open mind. We're always learning. And the fact is, we learn a hell of a lot more from our mistakes than we do from our successes. And so rather than beat ourselves up too much from our mistakes, use them for the learning chance that they are. And then we can like grow as growers, you know, and further our understandings and our knowledges on things. And that's the way to go about it. Oh, once you do that first run or two that's kind of somewhat successful, and if you fall in love with it, it's like you're hooked for life. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of life. That's why it's kind of like, you know, the Weed Titty Force, the Potsquatch Growers Army. It's like a way of life. It's like, I am a cultivator of the Weed Titties. I love the life of the farmer. You know what I'm saying? Dude, typhoid, we got a lot of people in our community in Texas. You know what I'm saying? It's good times. Hey, riot powder, that happens sometimes. You meet a strain where it doesn't make a lot of weed titties, but what it did make was nice. Cheers to you as well, JM Dramatic. But anyway, my friends, I just saw 420, as in 4 minutes and 20 seconds on the 150 on the show. We've gone longer. I'm happy that we did that. I won't lie to you. I've been struggling in some of these shows recently with no plants going. I've been kind of like stressed out. You know, I'm not playing with any weed titties or doing any experiments or living my my shit, doing my job as I feel, you know. And it's been hard, but so, oh, 1 second. There's a good question. YW246 says, what is your recommendation on high stress training or low stress training on auto plants? No high stress and be subtle with your low stress. Also, try photos. Sorry. I'm not biased at all. But anyway, my friends, thank you everybody for tuning in and being part of the community. For everyone tuning into the shows and still hanging out, even though right now it's basically dude in the garage till we get Lab 2. Thank you very much. Lab 2 is coming May 3rd, baby. Get it ready. Get it sexy. Get ready for this shit. You know what I'm saying? May 3rd, baby. The day before May the 4th be with you. All right? You know I'm going to be setting up some weed titty shit on May the 4th this year. Watching my Star Wars, getting high, drinking, and playing, and making a video for all y'all. Okay? So my friends, my family, my crew, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for sticking with us while we're in this transitional motif. We will soon emerge as that weird, high, drunk butterfly. Lab 2 is going to be off the hook. You're about to see some shit that you have no idea that is about to be. We're going to take this shit to the next level. Oh, I can't do it with that hand. If I could do it with this hand. There we go. I was trying to do it with that one. American Honey Baby, what's up? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. We're just saying goodbye, actually, sadly. But my friends, my family, my Potsquatches, remember, the true grower's the first thing. The true grower is not afraid to take a risk. The true grower makes educated, stupid decisions. Treat yourself with a bit of compassion and those around you. We may all just get through this one. All right? All right. Word to your mother. Peace the fuck out! Bye.